We are recording.
Have you ever opened up like your phone's front camera?
Yeah. Oh God! And then you look like just a chin monster.
That's what I feel like. Do I just look like a finger?
Oh, you look great.
Got thumb.
Well, I mean, not when you're making that silly face, if we're gonna be honest with each other. But you look great.
You mean just my face?
No, you look beautiful.
Thank you. My computer's on my legs, by the way. This isn't like the big one that's going to take us all. It's just due to the way that we operate on the Homerow podcast, this is how we have to cope. I will be replacing my webcam. I actually already found the potential replacement. We'll see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Homerow podcast, episode 21, one we've been waiting for quite some time.
It's a clip show.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm going to bring it up every episode, just so you know. I've been bringing
And
it
then
up every episode since episode 2, and I'm not going to stop now.
Because when it finally happens, it's going to be glorious, and we won't actually say anything. The one episode that is the clip show, we won't say anything, and it's just going to be like, welcome to episode skirt.
And then just old clips from
3.5 hours of clips. So,
mostly of us laughing.
Yeah, probably. Just giggling at
Lots
each other.
of me talking about my butt, I'm sure.
Lots of just talking about butts.
Yeah, in general.
Just butts.
Hail the butt.
Praise the
Praise
butt.
the butt. My bad, my bad, my bad.
It's fine. It's fine. Right? Anyway, welcome to episode 21. We're going to be talking about not so much news because I don't think anybody wanted to break any big news this week because we had 2 gigantic titles come out. One I think you definitely know of. The other one you probably know about, but we're expecting a little bit less than what I saw in the reviews, and I know what Brian's impressions are of the game. So, I'm excited to talk about all of it. Where should we begin?
We should probably start with Rotter.
Rotter.
Rotterdam?
Rise of the Tomb Raider. So that's basically, I think I put like, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours on Saturday and another 8 to 9 hours on Sunday. I was just pounding through it to get for the review, for the embargo was up on Monday morning. So once again, Lara Croft is back. They did a lot of the same things, but don't get confused that's a bad thing. Like first of all, it looks beautiful. I feel like I'm like stumbling over myself now because now I'm like I get too much excitement to come out.
That's good.
Yeah, no, that is the thing. The game is super good. Like, everything that was awesome about the reboot back in 2013, especially like the work that they did to bring the definitive edition over to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, is very apparent in this particular outing. There's a lot of collections. The story is a little. You know what? Actually, the story works out perfectly because when you're playing, you feel like you are interacting into an awesome action movie. So, she's scrambling, there's gunfire, sneaking up on people. You feel like, especially like with the weather simulations, so there's, snow or rain, and you can see it and it's in the screen and it feels like you're watching this really cool action movie, except you're not watching it, you're actually playing it. And they did such a fantastic job on that. Especially like I was joking with Joe a couple of days ago or whatever, but the hair physics. So like she's sitting at a campfire and you can just see like individual strands of her hair are like just floating in like the wind as the embers are coming off the fire, and like they just did some phenomenal work on her as working on her as a character. And they really did a good job. I mean, like I said, the story's it's a little flimsy.
Potholes for
but
days.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but the actual characters themselves, they made them so like they actually made the characters people that you would care about. So you meet up with a guy named Jacob and his daughter Sophia, and the antagonists are characters that you care about. Like the main antagonist Constantine, he is voiced by Clancy Brown, and he's been in like a bunch of shows like The Flash, and he's a really good character. If you saw him, you'd be like, "Oh, that guy, yeah, I know." But he does such great work on putting it into that character, because this character, he's like a man who believes, like he's a believer, you know, so he's one of those kind of bad guys. So he just plays him with such conviction that you're like, okay, I know I'm supposed to hate you and you are crazy, but man, it's just so well acted that I kind of love to hate the guy. Yeah, they did a really good job on character design.
Did you watch Lost, Brian?
Yes.
Like
yeah.
Benjamin on Lost?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I'm getting as you as you explain this character.
Yeah, he just believes that he needs to fix the world by helping out these people. Like, I mean, he's a believer. It's not a believer, but
I was gonna say, God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is everything else just feels so tight, and all the gameplay elements are all directly like what they were on the definitive edition. So it was just, at first I'm like, wow, I haven't played the definitive edition in like a year and a half, and I don't remember. And all of a sudden it was like 2 seconds later, I'm like clicking the buttons just as I would, and I'm like, okay, never mind, I got it. It's cool. We're good. We're good. I don't have to learn anything. But yeah, they didn't put a ton of new things in it, but they did a few things here and there that I liked. They actually have you go around and collect these, like, they call them Byzantine coins, and there's actually a shop, and you could go and purchase items that you won't get until a little bit later in the game. So if you want to wait and get the item later, you can totally do that. But if you want that upgrade item or that gun early, you can spend these Byzantine coins and get this item early. So it's kind of like a neat little shop that can help you if you're having trouble, or you just want the cool shotgun now, spend the Byzantine coins. And it's not like a thing you need to save for the end of the game. So if you just want this new upgrade, just get it. It's pretty cool.
Are there good puzzles?
I'm sorry?
Are there good puzzles?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're one of the collectible items, and they're pretty, like, they're not all over the place, but it's not difficult to get a lot of them.
Are there good puzzles in the game?
Oh yeah, puzzles. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I think you said, are they all over the place? I'm like, oh yeah, puzzles are pretty good. So they kind of, some of them are a little simplistic. There were a couple of tombs where I was like, well, okay, I see what I have to do. This one's easy, all right. But there were a couple that where I was like, all right, what do I do? And oh my gosh, okay, I totally get it. I just need to do this, this, and this. Oh my god, all right, I got it. So it was fun like that. Like you have those moments of, oh yeah, all right, you clever motherfuckers. All right, I got you. All right, I got you. Yeah, so that was fun. And the tombs, I really enjoyed the tombs. That was a big part for me. Is I'm like, I want to do some tomb raiding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was one that was a little twitchy where I had to like unhook the boat starts coming, I jump on the boat and I have to like fire an arrow really quick, and there was one it made me really angry because I fired the arrow, got the audio clue that I made the hit, but apparently I had passed some imaginary line, so the death sequence happened and then I failed. And I was like,
the death sequences as amazing?
Yes. So
like
I actually went off. I went off a like a waterfall type thing and smashed my head on a rock, and there was blood splatter on my blood was splattered all over the rocks. But no, there was some There are some brutal ones, especially like once you get the combat knife and you get the the stealth knife finisher. And I mean, like, I will grab the guy right in the neck. So there is some, yeah, she can be brutal. She can be brutal.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Lara Croft is a Black Widow.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
I like that this wasn't necessarily a character that I ever really gave a shit about. Like, I love Tomb Raider 2. I remember, like, fond memories of that game, but I don't think Lara ever, like, hit the notes that was like, oh, yeah, one of the best characters in gaming. She's memorable.
She was
She's
no
iconic.
Nathan Drake, though. Like,
Right.
yeah,
I
I'm
couldn't
with
have
you.
told you her story. The only thing I remember doing a lot was trapping the butler in the kitchen or whatever in the old game. But I'm happy that that someone saw that you could do interesting things with that character, and they've done it 2 games in a row, is probably the most impressive thing, especially that they were able to do a reboot that was good and well received and people really liked it. Even when they remastered it, 6 months later, it was pretty quick turnaround for the PS4 and Xbox One version. That was kind of a news story in itself. But the fact that they were able to come out with a brand new game and it's even better, and getting 9s, 10s, 5 out of 5s, like very, very high scores, that's really fucking cool. I think that's really awesome.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
And this is Crystal Dynamics, is that right?
This is Crystal Dynamics, yeah.
Cool. Good for them. Good work. That's awesome. It's definitely one that I want to check out. I think as soon as I heard you talking about it, Quiglin, I also heard my editor at Examiner talking about it because he took that review while I was working on this other one. And he had nothing but good things to say. He gave that a 5 out of 5 and said it's the best Xbox One exclusive, even if, technicality-wise it will branch out. It's incredible and definitely worth the time. So I think it might be a big contender for me to squeeze in, possibly after a little bit of Star Wars, because I don't know if Star Wars is going to hold a lot of value, but it looks cool. It looks awesome.
Yeah, and what I like about it is I think that even if people wait on it, I think they're going to appreciate it. Like once they actually get a chance to sit down after they play Fallout and after they play Star Wars, they're going to come back to this, and this game's going to sell better, like next month, next year.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely got legs.
Awesome.
Well, with reviews like that, it's probably going to be picked up for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
And
worth picking up.
Not to mention, I mean, if it, I don't think it would need it, but if it does go on sale anytime from now until January, it's probably not a bad pickup. That's awesome.
Yeah, but unfortunately, because I was playing that so much, I did not get to play Fallout 4.
It's okay.
I did. I got to play.
I did too. Doxy, why did you start?
I only got to play 2 hours. It turns out that it is a very frustrating game to stream. Like, to try to make it entertaining for other people to watch you play, because you want to, like, it was hard for me to know exactly what was going on because I didn't want to talk to all the NPCs like I normally would on a playthrough just, like, by myself. You know what I mean? So, like, I found myself confused an awful lot, but that's all my fault, not the game's fault. The game responds incredibly well. Like, definitely on PC, I am playing it on a controller, and it feels totally natural. Once I rebound the controls to, like, my playstyle, it feels totally natural and intuitive, and that just, like, from a mechanics standpoint, fucking A+++. I haven't had any frame rate dippage or anything like that. It runs beautifully. I've heard that that's not the case for console players, which is unfortunate. But for me, I'm having a hell of a time with it. I like the dog. I like the robot. I like everything. One thing that I did not like that I can nitpick right now is that early ass escort mission where there's not even any fighting or anything.
Which mission is that?
Yeah.
From I forget the name of the town already, but the second town back to the first town.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
You have to escort those people back.
It's right after you meet Preston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, get the laser musket, and then you have to take them back to Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, That sucked. I mean, I didn't. I won't say it sucked. I didn't think it was that bad, but
That's a
I can
bummer
see.
for me.
Yeah, it is an escort mission, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind
That
escort missions. I
Oh.
prefer if I have to fight during them,
Mhm.
and it doesn't take me 15 minutes to walk from one place to another with this group of people that walk slowly and gets in your way. You
Oh,
know?
really? I think I just fast traveled.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why I don't
discovered
remember, and it was
once
fine.
I already got there, somebody in my chat was just like, "You can just fast travel, and they'll be there." And I was like, "Oh, well, cool."
Well, shit.
Yeah.
So you're
Was
2
there at
hours.
least some exposition there? Like, do they actually talk to you or something?
Yes. They,
Oh, okay.
they definitely are having conversations, but if you get too close to them, they each try to like say their own little piece to you, and it like sort of
Oh.
interrupts, which is kind of whatever, but like it's something that you catch onto quickly, you know?
Mm.
So in your 2 hours, is that the last part you got to?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think so far? Like, is it? Wait,
Hype. I'm super fun. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I can't
you
wait.
are too.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to play more. I'm really excited. I don't know. I feel like this game will lend itself better to a YouTube series than to streaming, so that I
Yeah.
can like edit out all of the boring stuff.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think the best videos that I've seen have been more like highlights than they have
Yeah,
been like
montages for sure.
exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Clip shows.
Yeah. Yeah. One big clip
Like,
show.
like this one.
Yeah.
It's the clip show, guys.
Oh man, if like 20 minutes in, just shoop. So yeah, I played the living shit out of this game and have no time as it is, but was able to squeeze a lot of Fallout in a very short amount of time. I dig it. I mean, I gave it 5 out of 5. I thought it was great in a lot of ways. We'll get to it in a moment, but I think it was for what it is as a product out of the box. I had an incredible experience. It actually,
Are you playing
What?
on console or PC?
I played on Xbox One, so that's what I think I want to get to is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I didn't have a single issue.
Okay.
I had.
I don't remember having any either.
So I think the only things, and I noted it in my review, was that once in a great while there was like my peeves with it are the same peeves that have been there for a little while, like AI pathing. In a giant game like this, I kind of excuse it because there is so much more going on. There's a character that's like I won't spoil it because he's a fucking awesome character, but he's like a noir gumshoe dude.
Nice.
And he is your companion, and he's cool as shit. I kept him the entire game because I just liked hearing him talk. He had a good sense of humor and like good kind of dark observations about certain things, and it was really weird because I started to care about how he viewed my decisions because that is important in the game. It'll say like his name's Valentine, says Valentine disliked that, Valentine approves of that, so it gives you that like telltale vibe kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he was also like in combat, he could kind of be a pain in the ass. I did like a long range build, so I would crouch and try to get the sneak attack for 2 times the damage, and it only happened probably twice, but he wouldn't know really where to stand, so he'd just kind of bump into me,
Yeah.
just knock my crosshair off a little bit. It's like, fucking Valentine, come on, man. But I never ran into a point where it pissed me off, really at all. It was just like I laughed about it and just like looked at the controller. I was like, fucking, okay, whatever, and just kept going. The game never crashed on me. I never got any sort of glitch that didn't let me through a place. Once in a while, the AI will also stand in a doorway, but if you just give it a second, they'll usually get bored and be like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? And then they'll get out of the way. I did notice like some the textures. Like there was a pretty important super mutant character that you meet through the course of at least the storyline that I took. And he was just like muddy, just kind of like a blurry texture. Like I could make out what was happening, but it was like a big green blob kind of. And I don't know if that was something that just needs to be patched or if that's just something. But it was like, that's weird. But it was still like the things that continue to strike me, are like the voice acting is miles ahead of anything that Bethesda's done probably ever to me. I mean, there's still a little bit of the robotic nature to the NPCs, like in a town that are just random woman on the street. Still sounds a little funny. But I feel like I want to, like I did with The Witcher, I want to listen to what these people have to say. I want to talk to all these vendors, and like you were saying, I want to talk to all these NPCs and figure it out a little bit more. The writing is better. The freaking environments are incredible. Doxy, did you run into any storms?
No, not yet. I am really excited to, though, because I hear good things.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but they are intense. They're the first time I went to Diamond City, which is Fenway Park. Some cool shit happened, and it was one of those like emergent things. I've had a lot of those moments, and that's how I started my reviews, with a story that, and I can tell it because it's not a spoiler. I was just on my way somewhere. I see a giant like scaffolding with a bunch of super mutants. And I'm kind of scoping it out with my rifle, like, all right, I can probably take this dude out first. He's probably priority one. And then I hear this, like, whirring. And then I look over my shoulder, and there's a Brotherhood of Steel vertibird just comes hauling ass in, and they start lighting them up with their miniguns. So they start taking out all these super mutants. And it's just a massive firefight. So I pretty much put my gun away, just, like, kind of sat back and let them do their thing, and was starting to think, like, wow, this is pretty cool. I think the super mutants are going to get taken out, and then I'll just go up and loot everybody. And then somehow these mutants took out this vertibird. It just starts spinning out of control,
son.
And it starts coming right at me, like crashing into me. And it hits the ground, and a Mr. Handy flies out of the back of it and starts lighting up these lasers. It was a really cool moment that I could tell wasn't like, there was no quest line, there was no prompt for anything. I was on my way to another location, and all this just happened.
It was just characters living their lives?
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
That's awesome.
It's like for a dead wasteland, it felt really alive, and it felt like a dangerous place. Like I wasn't at a level where I should be able to engage both sides of this conflict, so I just opted out entirely and just kind of hid behind some metal and was like, "Oh God, don't see me, please God, nobody see me." And there have been a lot of interactions like that. Like the sound design is miles ahead of what they've made so many large improvements. The game isn't wholly different than it always was, and I'm happy about that.
Can we just talk for a minute about increased carry weight? Can we just talk a minute about increased carry weight?
Well, yeah, of course.
I am the happiest boy. It makes me so happy. I was just carrying everything. Yeah. And I could just store my junk at the help me out.
Workshop.
Yeah, the suit workshop thingy. And there was just a button for all your junk to go in there, and then you can access that from any of those stations. I like that. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy. I hate when a beautiful game is ruined by Inventory Management Simulator 2015.
Yeah.
I hate it so fucking much. However, I do understand having a little bit of inventory management. Like, I get it. Like, that makes sense. There's some immersion to be had there. But, like, when you're incentivized to pick up every little thing, having an increased carry weight is the most amazing thing. Not to mention you have this permanent fault in your dog that can carry...
Wait, your dog can carry?
Yeah, he can carry a couple 100 pounds.
Wow.
I feel like we lost Joe.
Maybe he shouldn't have, picked up his computer.
Maybe I shouldn't touch any technology today. I'll probably come back in a minute. But I am here. Okay. Trust me.
All right.
But yeah, the dog
All
can
I see
carry
is
things.
Pixels and mustache.
Just the way I like it.
It actually kind of looks like he's been like a stained glass look to him.
I can get this oil painting. I'd order that.
Oh, there you go, an oil painting. That's
my own basement.
In velvet.
Yeah, of course.
Can you do this but naked?
I'm not going to get naked. I just want you to figure the rest of it out.
Use your imagination.
So yeah, to me, long story short, Fallout is incredible. It's exactly what I expected it to be, wanted it to be, a lot more than that. It is a very, very good video game.
You know what else I love? I love that the UI changes whether you're in your power suit or not. I think that is a really nice touch. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
balance.
And there's like water droplets. I don't know if you've gotten any parts like that, but you can get some condensation on the actual like goggles, and the fact that you can wear the power armor inside, like that's something that's going to affect my playstyle because my next character is going to be a melee focus. So
Right.
I'm like, I'm just going to throw on power armor and go, Pacific Rim on everything. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about that. I know. I'm still. Maybe I can. Can't start video.
Oh, no.
Not this again. Video's turned off.
That's okay.
Videos.
Joey's just
Right?
hiking through the wilderness in Colorado there.
As
He was kind enough to take his pit boy with him to do this podcast with us.
Exactly. I got the
it's him in his power armor right now.
0.10 alpha. So anyway, Fallout's a really good game. Oh, and it got rid of me. Hold up. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so Fallout's a really good game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's good. It's good. We can talk about. So Brian, I kind of forced you, and I'm not sorry about it, but I was talking about the Giant Bomb review of Fallout.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get around to reading that, so could you summarize?
Yeah, it was a 3 out of 5, and it was not to get too hung up on the score because the points that were made, to a certain extent, are valid because there are. It seemed like, and why I say I had a flawless experience is because it seems like Jeff Gerstmann there had like the worst time playing this on console. And his review, he to give him credit, he does say, this score is based off of the console version because the PC basically isn't having these problems.
Yeah.
But it seems like his build or his just experience was a riddled mess. It was buggy. It didn't do really anything for him, which sucks. And I think part of it was also that he maybe expected a game that was more of a. I don't even know. It just seems like he thought it was going to be a different game than what it was being. He thought it was a little too similar to every Bethesda game. Here it is. Here's a line, basically. There's a great game in Fallout 4, but how much of that greatness gets through to you is largely dependent on your own tolerance level for those glitches and how willing you are to play another game from the same template as Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, and Oblivion. And just to spout my opinion on that, it's like that's why I bought the game.
Yeah, totally. They have a formula that fucking works.
And
and they've added to it
very
too.
well.
Like they've brought new stuff to the table. So I don't see that sounds very nitpicky to me.
And I hope that Elder Scrolls 6, whatever that may be, I hope it is this, but expanded upon. I hope it's.
You just made me pee my pants a little.
Right? I don't even want to think about it. Well, I don't want to think about you peeing your pants either, but I don't want to think about the next Elder Scrolls because I will get excited. I've seen things in Fallout that I'm like, this is going to be awesome when they bring it to the fantasy setting.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So, and Brian, I know you were pretty upset reading the review. It had some choice words.
Yeah. So here's the bottom line: is what I think what bothers me the most about it is it feels. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like it feels like he was expecting something else. Like I don't know if he just saw the game at an event or had a different had a vertical slice that gave him the impression that it was going to be something other than a Fallout game. I'm not really sure what that was, but whatever it was not this game because he was mad about it. Like he was very intense about. Oh, I can't believe that this is another Fallout game that I have to play, and I don't know. I mean, like this brought up an interesting. Joe and I were talking about this earlier about how much should that really affect your review. So when you're thinking about what is a review of a game, like what factors really can be involved in that, like. How your experience in Skyrim, does that really affect Fallout 4 as a game? I mean, if you're critically reviewing a game, then that is a standalone moment in time versus oh, the work. I mean, and I'm not saying that it can't be, that it needs to be completely objective and closed off, but I mean, I had a lot of trouble when Skyrim came out, and I had a lot of bugs. I don't really see how that has any effect on Fallout 4. I also feel like there was a part of his review that was specific to, like, almost like he was upset about that Bethesda, that he feels like Bethesda gets a pass. Now he doesn't come out and say that in the review, but it does get the impression, and I've had this impression from some other reviewers and some other things I've read on the internet, that just give me the impression that people are like, well, if this was Ubisoft, that they wouldn't get a pass like this for problems with like bug problems or glitches or whatever. And to an extent, Bethesda does get more of a pass than, say, an Ubisoft does. I don't know if that has to do with the games or the stories or the experiences that people have, but Unity got universally trashed, and it had similar bugs. Now, Joe will be the first to tell you that he didn't really have those bugs in Unity. Still gave it he gave it a 4 out of 5. So I don't know. I mean, like, I just wonder at what point do you have to. There's a few things you have to be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't let this affect my review.
Okay, so what I think about that. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like most big-time reviewers, like, have this, like, list of criteria that they hold a game to, and that's what they talk about in each of their reviews, right? Like, typically they have, like, kind of a formula to it. And, I don't necessarily agree with that, because every game is, like, a different experience, And
Sure.
so I feel like that kind of fits in here somewhere. Like, you can't hold all games to the same criteria. You can't do that. You just can't. And and I know that Bethesda does have some issues with bugs. It's a big part of my everyday joking life to say okay Bethesda when something doesn't go as planned. But at the same time, this is a really well done game. This is a game that is absolutely playable no matter what bugs you run into. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I did experience a game-breaking bug in New Vegas, and that put me off of New Vegas for a while, but that didn't make me turn around and say, fuck Skyrim.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not the same thing. You can't do that. I don't know. I think that I don't get to have a full opinion about this because I'm having a splendid experience with Fallout 4, and I'm not having any bugs, but if I am allowed to have my opinion, I guess that's it.
Right, and I think Brian and I, we've gotten into this, we've probably all three gotten into this discussion before, but when and I got into this discussion with my editor, actually, if I get a game and I'm supposed to review it, that game goes in the disk drive or it gets installed on my PC, I play that game for the experience that it represents at that very time.
Yeah.
So Unity is a perfect example because I thought it was a decent story. It actually got me kind of interested in the French Revolution, which I never thought would happen because I really didn't give a shit. But some of the stories it told and some of the characters I met were pretty interesting. The things I thought they did well in the game were there, and I commented on things like microtransactions, not a fan, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Fallout. It, to me, represents one of the best experiences I've had all year and tells some really cool, there's awesome moments of American history that you just experience due to the fact that there's, renewed patriotism after a terrible event like the apocalypse.
Yeah.
There's just cool stuff you get to explore in the Northeast, and some really, to me, represents a very, very well-made game, as you said, Doxy. And I think that reviewers have to take a certain stance. They need to stay, they have to stick to their guns, but I do think that at the same time, you've got to be able to step back at some point and just play the damn game. Is it a good game? Is it not a good game? Not oh, it's another Bethesda game. It's kind of like their last ones, but it's also called Fallout 4, not Fallout 1.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not expecting a brand new experience.
Yeah. Also, it's not like Fallout the other side of the world or Fallout gardening. It's a fucking Fallout game. Like,
yeah.
It's a part of a series. Of course it's going to be similar. Of course it is.
Right.
And
the other part,
Fallout is just like a sci-fi answer to the Elder Scrolls. So, like, of course there's going to be similarities there. They go fucking hand in hand. Shut your fucking mouth. Play the goddamn game and review it for the good fucking game. I'm sorry. Like, that, it's just so... It bugs me when games get a bad rap because of unfair nitpickiness.
I just want to know what Fallout gardening is going to be like. I mean, like giant plants trying to attack you while you got these hedges. You're like, no!
This kind of is Fallout gardening because you do have to plant some mutt fruit.
Nice.
I planted some mutt fruit and some potato plants. I don't like, and here's the other part of it too, is the review isn't a badly written review. He's a very articulate guy, and I actually do, this is probably why I cared about it so much, is because I do respect his opinion.
Right.
Sure.
And went to this site to read the review, but this is also part of just being a consumer, is knowing, like, this game is right up my alley, I want to see what these guys say. Oh shit, why didn't they like it? Oh, they had some bugs. You have to be able to parse through that. If you read my reviews, if you read Brian's, if you read, IGN's reviews, you got to go through things and realize who's writing it, of course, but also, like, there are parts you got to kind of think critically about and not just take at face value, especially every one of you listening to me because you can't see me. If you buy a game based on a review score, God help you. Like, just...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Man. Ugh. Oh. That being said, the PC version got 4 out of 5 on Giant Bomb just because it seemed to run better for them. So.
Well, that's good. At least there's that. At
yeah,
least
and they
they distinguish it pretty
it.
clearly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand getting frustrated with bugs. Like, I can totally understand that.
Sure.
But, like, when you know that it's an inconsistent thing, that shouldn't factor into your review of a game overall. I don't think, as long as it's not something that is breaking the fucking game for you.
Right.
Well,
and I think that, I think, Doxy, you're right. But I mean, I have no problem with you mentioning it in the review. I'm just not sure it should affect the score.
Absolutely.
But
it's not like Fallout 4 is, like, hurting for sales by any means, but, like...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're going to do okay.
And I'm sure that even if fucking Giant Bomb had anything to do with the sales, it wouldn't even put a dent in it. Like, I'm sure.
No.
But still, like, it's so frustrating to me because there are people that go to reviews before they buy a game, and if it's not, like, close to a perfect review, they're not going to get the game because they only have, like, $80 a year to spend on video games or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's frustrating that this is probably a game that some of those people would have bought, and gotten a lot of joy and escapism and stuff out of, and now they're just not going to because some dipshit didn't fucking... Sorry, I'm getting too mad. I'm sure the dude is great, and like,
you're getting emotional.
I am. It's so frustrating. Like, this is he's misleading my people. All.
You bring up a good point because he potentially could be robbing somebody of an experience that they would enjoy. Like, if it was me and I know I love every other Fallout game, maybe I would read every word in this and still be able to pick up, like, oh, well, he says if you like the other games, you'll like this too.
Right, but think of all the 15 and 16-year-olds out there that, like, just got their first job and they're like, people talk about this Fallout franchise all the time. Like, maybe I'll check it out with this new Fallout game. And then they go and they read that review and they're like, ooh, wait a minute, maybe not. And then that's just another person that is not part of this fucking subculture, Like, it's frustrating. That's frustrating to me. That's frustrating.
So the bottom line is you have a question, ask Doxy whether or not you should buy it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I trust Doxy. That being said, if you want to dip your toe in the Fallout waters, we are currently running our sub contest. So head over to YouTube/the longest link in the world. Probably best to just go to twitter.com/Homerow podcast, click on our YouTube, and it will take you there. We'll be tweeting out once we get to 500 subs. All those subs will then be put into the drawing. and get sweet stuff.
I have
I
a
actually
bunch of other games to sweeten the pot too.
nice. Yeah, we went through our collections. Yeah, exactly. Get your own nice little post-apocalyptic loot chest. And I actually just found a second copy of Fallout 3, so you can give one to a friend and be like the best friend ever. The other thing I wanted to comment on is, Doxy, what would be like your one feature that is the best improvement in this? Not necessarily new edition. It could be a new edition. Go ahead. But is there a feature that like really strikes you as like, holy shit, they fixed it, or holy shit, they nailed it?
Yeah. So I'm only 2 hours in, so keep that in mind. But I feel like just NPC interactions in general are just so much smoother. Are like so much better. I feel like they put a lot of attention to detail into that. I like that. I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to properly convey what I want to say, but like I feel like the options for replying to NPCs have always been really good, but not always necessarily like what I would say. I feel like they cover way more of a spectrum now than they used to, if that makes sense. Like, you can. There's a lot more different ways to respond to things. There's not just asshole, funny, and nice anymore. Like, there's just more stuff that you can say.
So Joe, that actually, from the review, the Giant Bomb review, that did make me question. Did you feel like that the responses that you were given to choose on the screen differed from the responses that were given after you pushed the button?
No, and what was weird and what really puzzled me before the game came out was the people that were so upset about the kind of Mass Effect style. Like on Xbox, for instance, where I played, it was X, Y, A, B are the 4 decisions, and they have like 1 or 2 words, and then there was a response to that, right? But what I found while playing is that it was always like A, for instance. My first playthrough, I was like, all right, I'm just going to be good guy, because that's how I always do my first playthrough. I'm noble and just. And almost every time A was that response, and it was right in line with how I wanted that character to reply at that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there were also options, like I just started a PC jump through real quick, and in that first like pre-war, or pre-explosion thing, I was hitting sarcastic and asshole responses.
Yeah.
And they were super interesting, but it's still something that I was like, yeah, she would say that. Yeah, good old Barb would say that.
Barb.
I also really fast want to touch on, I love how quickly you got into the action in this one. That's really nice. It's not like a big long thing that you have to go through, besides depending on how much time you want to take to make your character. I think that they did a fantastic job with pacing. Fantastic.
Hey, Dox, did you make your character like you? Like, did you make her look like you?
I will be, but I didn't want to spend fucking 2 hours doing that on stream.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back into it and find, like, apparently there's plastic surgeons that you can go to and change the way you look, and I plan to do that once I find one of those and do that off camera so that nobody has to watch me do that.
Joe, do you feel like Barb looks like you?
She's close. She's close.
Okay.
They
I
didn't
actually
have very
find
good
that
hair options.
No.
If I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest.
that's what I noticed as well. The men's options were actually kind of interesting. Like, there were some decent ones.
There's just no long hair. Long hair is not a thing, and I have really ridiculous ass long hair. So
Yeah, it's like shoulder length. I just made a female on my PC version, and it just, it wasn't awesome. I hope they would pipe something else in. That'd be kind of cool.
yeah,
But
I'm sure there will be mods that will accommodate that.
Hope so.
For sure.
Just because I saw some people put their picture and their character that they made, and there were a few of them out there that look really good. Like, they look pretty damn close to
Did you
their.
guys see the Nigel Thornberry one?
No.
It's
my
smashing.
God! It literally is just the post title was smashing. I was like, fuck.
It's really good.
We live in a
that's
beautiful
fabulous.
age. I do have to say, I think my favorite overhaul is something that I didn't appreciate until I put a lot of time in the game and got a lot of different weapons, but the shooting is fucking phenomenal.
So much better than it used to be, yeah.
The
Nice.
iron sights, the just feel of weapons, the sound of weapons, like everything. And I know they actually brought in a couple like consultants from other big other shooter titles. I want to say Halo, maybe, or Destiny.
Oh,
Um,
don't
it's
do
some of the
that.
best shooting around, Brian. You want Call of Duty in your Fallout? No.
Halo
I'll get
has
my
A+
chocolate
handling for sure.
I want
It's not my
chocolate
preferred
and peanut
shooter,
butter.
but it does control well. I think it's important though to note that Fallout isn't like it's not supposed to be a first-person shooter. So the
Right.
fact that they took that kind of care with that says something. I think that's dedication to your craft there. If you want to make every part of this game just fucking sparkle, and I think that is great. I think that it is really important to make the distinction that this is not a shooter. It's not supposed to be a shooter. It is an RPG, and that is what this game is.
And it's a fairly hardcore RPG. Like, it is not, even playing, I'll be the first to admit that I played on the lowest difficulty, which I think is just easy, because I had to get through this game in, like, record timing.
Yeah.
I'm going back through in survival. Don't give me shit just yet. But
He's not.
hey, Barb is a survivalist.
I can say these things because he can't see me.
He can see you.
Little does Brian know, I'm on a
that's
plane
great.
to Cincinnati. Using shadows that...
You're actually walking there. You're following the river.
Exactly.
You're following the Ohio River down here. Yes, that actually would work.
In my Colorado Rift. Rift. A Rift would be quicker.
Your Oculus Rift.
That'd be an Oculus game I might play. I don't
No,
remember where I was.
wait. Let's go back to there. If there was an Oculus Rift game of going to Cincinnati, you would play that because no one else would.
If you're going there on a whitewater rafting trip, I don't see why that's not fun, Brian.
Yeah, Brian, because then I wouldn't have to go there in real life.
because the last level would be horrible.
It's just death.
Yeah, it's just here.
Did you get there and you step up on a stool and like the last thing you see is a noose coming over?
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard the Mark Twain quote?
No.
Yeah, he said that if the world ever ends, I'm going to Cincinnati because it always ends because everything happens 10 years later there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
So we've gushed about Fallout for quite a while. Have you guys been playing anything else?
No.
No. Good.
I'm trying to get back into Tales of Zestiria. And it's just I'm still getting through the narrative portion. So once I actually get into where I actually have real battles and stuff, I'll talk more about it. But I got to get that review out the door before next week because another game is coming out next week. Maybe you've heard of it? Battlefront?
No, could you tell us more about that?
Yes. So there are these ships. I'm going to do another demonstration of the ship combat, the ship to ship. But in all seriousness, no, I'm very excited for Battlefront. I went back into Walmart.com, made sure that my Han Solo fridge is ordered and ready to be there for me to pick up. Yeah. But
did you play the beta at all?
No, I didn't end up getting to play the beta at all. I was out of town.
It was good. It was really good, especially because I went in thinking, even if it's just a Battlefield game with Star Wars skins, it's going to be good, and it, to a certain extent, I mean, if you want to dial it back to there's a lot of people on screen shooting a lot of guns, yeah, it's a Battlefield game, and there's vehicles, but it, like, the music, the visuals, the fact that the game like runs at a nice smooth 60, this is a really good chance for EA and DICE to really redeem themselves, honestly, because Hardline, as you guys know, I played the hell out of. Almost, it was like an illicit substance because I didn't want to keep going, but I just kept, like, every time I was
that's
around.
That's what Reddit is like for me. Like, I don't go there because I want to anymore. I go there because I fucking have to. I have to.
Right? It's just habit. It's like,
gotta do it.
I'm home.
Yeah.
Or, well, in Reddit's example, it's like, I'm taking a shit. What's going on? Not so much Hardline, but yeah, Battlefront has the very high potential of being a very, very good game. The question is, how much is there?
Yeah. Well, that and will the EA DICE servers hold up?
Yeah.
Or will they be completely crippled?
Yeah, I would think. Hopefully the beta helped, but God knows Battlefield 3 launched bad, Battlefield 4 launched bad, Battlefield Hardline launched bad.
Yeah. I'm
The
just
beta I
saying.
didn't have a single problem except for like the minute it went live, but I can kind of deal with that.
And I have a feeling that day it's going to be rough.
Mm-hmm.
Next Tuesday is going to be rough.
Yeah, so that's Tuesday the 17th. That you can actually, and this is what I'm going to be trying to take advantage of if I can, or if I can pull myself away from Fallout. If you have EA Access on the Xbox One, you can actually play starting tomorrow. That's that $5 a month service or $30 a year service that gets you the vault of games and some early access. And it actually, to me, it is a definite bargain. They've got like FIFA 15, I think, is already
Dragon
in there.
Age is in there.
Inquisition's in there.
I want
Yeah.
Inquisition so bad.
Seriously, I mean, like,
I want it so
you pay
bad.
$30 for a year, and you automatically get Dragon Age Inquisition. It's already in the vault, and you're like, I'm like,
Does that
okay,
come
here's
with Xbox Live?
No, it is an additional
yeah,
purchase,
it's an addition.
but it's that $30 a year
right.
to
Yeah.
play
A
and
a
it's not just
60-hour
that.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if I want to play Madden at this point, I don't go rushing out in August to buy the new Madden. It's like, oh, Madden
Right.
15's in there. I can play Madden. I'm good.
Yeah.
The wonderful
FIFA.
NBA Live games are in there. As you all know, my feelings on those. FIFA is in there. Yeah, same type of thing. If I want to have a FIFA tournament with some friends on the weekend, but I don't want to go out and buy, if it's still $60, God help them. But if it's even a $40 copy, I'm probably not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather just download it, make a couple drinks, play some FIFA.
Yeah.
Wait 2 weeks. Need for Speed will probably be in there. Oh,
Or
sadness.
Need for Speed, man. If they just would have remastered Need for Speed Underground, you would have had a hit.
If they just would have not made Need for Speed, it would have been fine.
I did hear an interesting discussion. Going back to Giant Bomb, on their podcast, they kind of discussed how this game, how Need for Speed recently was not so great, and how that team that builds Need for Speed is essentially a burnout team, a splinter burnout team. How it might be time to just, put Need for Speed aside, and then all of a sudden EA next year comes out with Burnout, and that's all it is. Doesn't have to be Burnout Paradise 2.0 or Burnout colon anything. It could
call
just
it
be
Burnout.
Burnout. Put a killer crash mode in there. I still would love to see licensed cars, but I don't think Burnout can do that with the licenses. But I don't care. I never
Need
cared
for
when I played
Speed
Burnout
Burnout.
3. Oh God. Need for Speed Burnout Paradise 2.0.
No, wait. No. We need to go back to Need for Speed The Run. We need The Run 2.
No, I never played that. I did play Porsche Unleashed. That was when we still played with square polygons, kids.
I want a super serious racing game with characters from a TV show or something. So
Like an
Need
interesting
for
plot?
Speed Game of Thrones or like Need for Speed Simpsons or something like that. I think that would be
That would be awesome.
so amazing.
Did I tell you about Lego Dimensions?
I want it.
You mentioned
It's
it.
so good. I still have to write up the review on that, but yeah. Ninja.
Did you
Jeez,
ever end
Joe.
up streaming any of it?
Nope.
No.
Do some.
No.
Yeah, Joe.
Any
Gee.
time. But if
Jeez.
I do, I will obviously. I'll probably tweet before.
Yeah, I need you to hit me up personally. I can't just be looking at your Twitter all the time.
Nope. You be F5.
She's on Reddit too much to be looking at your Twitter all.
I am. I spend too much time on the old Reddit machines.
So is it fair to say that next week we'll probably sprinkle in a little bit of Battlefront, but we might have some more Fallout?
I probably will not be talking about Battlefront, but I'll have plenty of questions for you.
That's wonderful. We can bring your best Fallout tales. And we'll
Yeah.
them.
Fallout Tales.
Fallout Tales of Zisteria.
That's right.
All right, cool. Well, do you guys have anything else? Any other topics you wanted to bring up?
No,
Keep your
this is a
eyes
short-ass show, man.
Yeah, I mean it's efficient. There wasn't a lot of news,
Yeah.
but I think we talked about the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I don't think there was really anything else that I wanted to hit on, even on PC, because I haven't had a chance to play. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the description of this video as well as the audio.
Oh, talk about the Discord server. Joe?
That's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Yay.
I would, and I should, bring up the Discord. No, you weren't. I closed you because my computer was really going well. Anyway, we have a Discord server, and we want you to join us because we will be in there chatting the livelong day. Feel free to check out the link that we'll put in the description for sure. I don't know if I can get a good link. Open link? Google Chrome? Is it? Yep, that's like a longer thing than our YouTube one. If I can rename it, I will, but I currently don't think I can. So keep an eye on the Discord, or for the Discord link in the YouTube description, as well as the Shout Engine description. So that'll also port over to iTunes. So pretty much anywhere you're at, you can join us. I know I have Discord on my phone, so I will be in there chatting it up. We can talk games, keep it cool, keep it fun. And
yeah, we definitely want to hear from you. Like anything that you want to hear us bullshit about, that's what we're here for.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I'm playing some Battlefront, you want to jump in a game, we can party up on Xbox One before the game comes out at least. Actually, yeah, I'll have it on Xbox One after as well. But we love you.
Yeah.
We seriously love you. So we want to spend time with you guys and make sure that we nurture our wonderful relationship.
Absolutely. All 112 of you right now.
That's right.
Or 17? 117? I don't remember exactly how much it is.
100 plus. North of 100. That's what we call it.
Yep.
But
On our way to 5.
Thank you to all of our subs. We have seen some really awesome growth. You guys are just the best. I know we tell you every time we do a live episode or chat, but yeah, you're the bestest. November's live episode we may not do next week, but we may do the following, right? Oh, no. Scratch that. Well, maybe we'll do a little... That'd be the day before Thanksgiving if we did it 2 weeks from now. So we'll have to chat amongst ourselves, and we'll let you know with plenty of heads up via Twitter / we'll try and get something in the YouTube / Shout Engine for that. But, Doxy, where can we find you?
That is an excellent question, Joe. You can find me at youtube.com/ZER0DOXY, twitch.tv /ZER0DOXY, and twitter.com /ZERODOXY. You can also find me on the Discord server, so please come and say hi.
Woo woo, Brian Quiglin.
Sure, you can find me on the Twitter machine as Quiglin. That's QUIGLIN.
Fantastic. Brian also has a Twitch he doesn't talk about, but but I enjoy watching him. So if you ever see twitch.tv /Quiglin streaming, jump in there because I'll probably be in the chat as well, and we have fun watching him climb the wrong thing in Assassin's Creed. I believe we're all as our normal names. Yeah, so in the Discord you'll see there's a whole 3 of us, so please do join us. It's myself as Joe McAllister, Doxy, and there's Doxy Quiglin, and there's Quiglin. I am Joe _McAllister at Twitter. I am also Joe McAllister at twitch.tv. I keep saying I'm going to start doing a stream here and there. We'll see what I can do, especially if my work schedule changes the way I hope it does. That will happen.
Awesome.
But yeah, I really hope it does because that gives more time for the Fallout.
Fingers crossed, kids.
Thank you, puppets. You guys can find all of us inside that Discord channel in the description below. In the YouTube, you can find us in a lot of places. Don't forget about twitch.tv /Homerow Podcast or twitter.com /Homerow Podcast. Make sure to follow. We are starting to use that a little bit more often to get the word out and gauge your interest in things like we might have done a live show tonight. We were all very tired and hungry, so it would have been a terrible idea. Not to mention my webcam went down, so this is what we're stuck with.
Also, this is only an hour-long episode.
Yeah, I would have felt pretty bad.
Yeah.
We probably the chat is the best about giving us some topics and just inspiring some more chat. So, like we said, we love you. You can't tell, but I'm staring right in the camera, addressing you when I say these things.
You're staring in the camera right now, as far as this picture is.
Geez, how disrespectful, Joe! Take off your sunglasses when you want to have a heartfelt moment with our viewers.
Put on a shirt. Anyway, for the Homerow Podcast. We will see you next week.
Yep.